What's up everybody, this is Colin Dijs with Dijs University, and today we have an important question from Vikash. Which is the best traffic source for beginners, native ads or Facebook ads?
This video is brought to you by Landerize.com. Create highly optimized landing pages in minutes. Get your 14-day free trial in the description below this video.
So I went into my Facebook group, I made a post. What are your questions about affiliate marketing? Anything related to push, Facebook, native, name it. And Vikash came up with this very interesting question, because this is a question I see all the time. And basically there is a doubt, which I understand, where you need to start with affiliate marketing. You see me killing it on Facebook, everybody wants to do Facebook. You see me pushing on native, everybody wants to do native. I throw some push campaigns online, everybody wants to do push, right? It can be confusing, it can be overwhelming. The shiny object syndrome will always be there, right? So I made a little list, what is important, and based on that, it will allow you to choose what works for you. Because whether Facebook is it for you, Vikash, or native is it for you, it all depends on certain variables you need to understand. So the first one is experience. Native is a lot of a bigger game than Facebook. Facebook has a tremendous potential, don't get me wrong. So you can still run easy 10,000, 20,000 a day on Facebook. However, with affiliate marketing it's a little bit more complicated. It is a lot more easy to start, however, compared to native. Native might sometimes require bigger budget if you want to follow my strategies, but you can also run it in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 countries, which allow tier 3 basically budgets of $50 a day or less, right? Where with Facebook you can start with $5 a day. So that's quite a difference. Do you have experience in digital marketing? Do you have affiliate marketing experience? Have you run on social media before? Have you run on news websites before? So that is very important to understand. Based on your previous experience, so I had experience with dropshipping, I had experience with print on demand, all on Facebook. So I decided to start with Facebook because I already knew all the mechanics. And it's not weird that after spending 1.5 years on Facebook, my first affiliate campaign was profitable from the first day, right? My first campaign ever, basically. So when we look at budget, that is the next most important thing. Where are you right now with your cash flow? You need to make an investment to take a return on your investment, hopefully, right? There's no guarantees, this is business. What you're going to do is you're going to look at your budget. If your budget is less than $100, $200, I wouldn't even bother with native, right? Native requires at least a total cash flow of $500 to $1,000. You can start with $100, but you can throw up one campaign in tier 3 and then you're done. Looking at the win ratio based on your campaigns, on Facebook, my campaigns do usually 1 to 3 out of 10. So 10 to 30% of the campaigns make good money from everything that I launch. And I'm a very experienced affiliate marketer, right? So for you guys, it may be 1 in 10, 1 in 15, right? Then with native, it's 3 out of 5 that I launch. However, the ones I launch on Facebook start at $50 a day, and the ones I launch on native are at $500 a day because I run tier 1, right? So the budget is very important on what you're going to choose. And I will sum it up at the end of this video, what, how, and when you can pick, but budget is a very important variable to understand that if you're going to calculate $50 per day per campaign on Facebook and you're launching 10 campaigns, you need $500 a day, right? And if you only have 1,000, you can only run for 2 days, which might say that you want to run less campaigns. Obviously, I would say the most important thing is what is the goal, right? Because looking at your experience, looking at your budget, now you have options, right? You have pre-selected all the options where you can choose from. However, if your budget is 10,000, your experience is sufficient to run on any platform, but the goal is to make $500 a day, it might not be smart to go into a traffic source which allows you to scale to 100,000 a day, right? With a lot of competition. You might want to pick up the low-hanging fruit, take some lower ROI, but with very limited effort. Or you have $1,000 cash and you want 10 million. Then you might have a lot of time and not a lot of money, so you're going to hustle your way through and you want the competition to motivate you to get you to the next level, right? So it's relative, it's all relative at the end of the day, right? So you have to choose the right vertical first, the right category to promote. And this is my advice Vcash, I think you're a beginner. So for Facebook, I would say white hat would be the way to go right now for the beginners. Facebook is cracking down on the compliance more and more every single month. I don't think it's worth your time going the black hat route. I believe it's not a consistent business model. It's churn and burn business, and that's not the way I like to run my business, so that's not what I advise. Native, you can do whatever the fuck you want. When you want to run binary, aggressive Nutra, Forex, crypto, or the regular offers, cash on delivery, e-commerce, it is all allowed. Obviously, different exchanges have different rules, but there's so much out there. There's literally over 100 exchanges where you can knock on the door and run native ads, right? And with Facebook, you only have Facebook and their crazy rules. However, if you run white hat on Facebook like e-commerce, I would prefer to run e-commerce on Facebook than on native. Why? Because I maybe see a handful of guys running big e-commerce on native, and I know thousands of guys running millions a week on e-commerce on Facebook, right? So it's all relative to what you desire. My main argument here, if you want to know what's better for a beginner, native or Facebook, you have to reverse engineer the processes. So instead of going experience, budget, goals, you go the other way around. You look at your goal first. What is the goal? Write it down. It has to be realistic, right? If you write down, I have 1,000 cash and I want 10 million in a year, it's not going to fucking happen unless you're Mark Zuckerberg, 1 out of 100 million people, right? But if you have 1,000 right now and at the end of the year you want 100,000, it's still quite a difficult task, but it can be done. For sure, I know it from experience, right? From that 1,000, you make 1,500. From that 1,500, you make 2,000. From that 2,000, you make 5,000. From that 5,000, you make 20,000. From that 20,000, you make 100,000. From that 100,000, you make millions, right? As long as you understand the media buying processes. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down your goal first. What is the goal and how long do I have? Do not be unrealistic. Stick to your goal. Don't have the shiny object syndrome. Oh, Colin is running Nutra. Oh, now Colin is running crypto. I have to follow him because what he's doing is working. What I'm doing is working because I stick with one goal. My goal, 25,000 on a campaign, and I want 50 crypto first-time deposits worth $700 each. I stick with it, I make it happen, and then I make it profitable, all right? Then I push. The sticking to the goal is very important. Then the next step is budget. Like I said, I calculate a budget per campaign. How many campaigns can I run? For which time frame? What is the daily budget then? Is this enough? You can ask questions. If you don't know if it's enough, go into the Facebook group, go into my forum, post your questions. I have this, and this. Does this sound realistic, right? You have to make the investment and expect no return. Obviously, you might make some conversions, but if your budget is $100 a day on Facebook, expect less than a return of $20 a day. If you can do this for a decent period of time, gather all the data and turn a campaign around, that is what media buying is. If you're too afraid to lose your investment, this is not the business model for you. And then we go back to experience. Experience in addition to what you feel comfortable with. So what do you like? I like Nutra, that's my thing. I've done a lot of crypto in the past on native, don't like it that much. I used to kill it with sweepstakes on Facebook, don't like it that much anymore. I now go for high payouts. Now I have cash flow, now the opportunity is here for me. Goal, budget, again. In relation to my experience, I like Nutra, $90, $120 payout, sometimes $300 payout. And then I like bigger conversions. So crypto is a little bit too much for me right now. It's $700 per FTD is what I get paid. And I would want to push 100 conversions a day minimum. Obviously, making that kind of an investment in addition to all the other media buying processes, we're just not there yet. It's more of a time issue than a money issue really. But for me, I follow my own rules. Goal, budget, what's again? Goal, budget, experience. That's what it is. And basically, experience then ties in with what you like, what you don't like, what you would want to do. You don't want to dive into a vertical which you think is boring as fuck. I like insurance. I think it's a great business model. Everybody needs it, but I don't like e-commerce that much. So you rarely see me promote e-commerce products. I never make YouTube videos about e-commerce products because it's not really my thing. I think it's boring. But I like insurance. I like how the flow works. I like the psychology of the person. It's not that they want it, they need it, right? And that's why I like it. So whether you're deciding between Facebook and native, look at your goals. I would say for most beginners, Facebook is probably easier to learn the platform to get started with. Are you a more experienced affiliate? Native offers insane amount of opportunity. There are assumptions that native costs more money. 100% not true. If you want to run tier 1, then yes, maybe it requires a little bit more money up front. However, there's also a lot of tier 2 and tier 3 traffic, tremendous amount, and with native is what I like is that it's manual bidding. So with manual bid, you control how much you spend, and Facebook is mostly automatic bidding, so they create the rules for you, which I don't like because I like to be in charge, right? So Facebook has a lot of pros. I think if I would have to choose ultimately, if I would have to choose one or another, I would still choose Facebook because it's just easy, it's quick, and the conversions come easy, right? It's a buyer intent based platform. However, if I would look at scaling to 1 million in spend a month, I would 100% choose native because as soon as you have the structure down, it brings in money every single day, and the steps are very easy to optimize as long as you know the rules. So follow the steps, goal, budget, experience. Ask your questions in the comments down below and I'll be sure to have a look. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one.